Hello, everybody, and welcome to the DAC Show podcast. Today is Nazari with you, and in that episode, we're gonna talk about languages. And for me, that's really important thing. That's really interesting thing, just to learn and get to know as much as possible about new language. Sounds good? Let's get started. So, I'm gonna start this episode with my own story, with languages that I know, that I've learned, that I had tried to learn, and of course, I'm gonna tell you more about Belgian languages, the official ones, and the, let's say, additional ones, because that's also an interesting thing because of the internationality, because of the multicultural, and I guess I just will start with the point that I'm Ukrainian, born and raised in Ukraine, in the capital, and for some reason it's gonna sound really strange, but my whole childhood, my whole school time, and yeah, until my, let's call it, trip to Belgium, I spoke Russian most of the time. So basically, my school, all the subjects and teachers, everyone spoke Ukrainian. All the books, all the material was in Ukrainian, and we also like had to speak Ukrainian, but it was no problem for anyone. We knew it really good, at excellent point. Any types of the words and sentences, it was grammar was perfect with everyone, so it was no problem. But outside of school, my football team, with my friends, online, and stuff like YouTube and some books and anything, music was the most popular one, I guess. All of that was in Russian. All of that was actually in Russian. So for some reason, it became easier to communicate in Russian, and also for us as a children, the computer games, as I already said, the YouTube videos or just series on Netflix or any movies were actually in Russian, because Russian was like the easier language to use in games, because it's not that popular, and also now to have an international game that has Ukrainian as a main language. So we had to choose whether it's English, but English, we weren't that good at English, because it was, yeah, we didn't spoke much English beside the English lessons at school, or most of us had also something like extra lessons with a personal teacher. I guess 60-70% of the children and students have the extra lessons, have the extra teacher English, because I can tell you why. Because everyone wants to, first of all, to travel, second of all, to get the job in Europe or any other country beside the Eastern Europe, I guess. Maybe the best point was Poland, the best country to go studying if you want to go abroad, because it was much easier and the people there can really understand you, and the Polish also really close to Ukrainian. It's type of mix of Ukrainian and Russian, and for us it's not the big deal to learn Polish. So from now on that point, I can tell you that I speak fluently Ukrainian and Russian, And also about the Russian language, there was a choice, a possibility to choose between two, whether we're gonna have an additional subject, German or Russian, and most of the parents decided to go for Russian because it's gonna be easier, and we had in any situation English, so it's gonna be too much, I guess, to learn and English and German. So we decided to go for Russian, but actually we didn't have that good teacher. She was really strict, and she was also so angry all the time. She wanted that discipline, she wanted that control on us, and we didn't really like that. And after the operation in Donbass started, we just our school decided to remove Russian as a subject, so we didn't have it anymore. But still, I can tell you that I would rather go to learn German. Maybe I wasn't that good at it, and maybe it's not gonna be that likely as it was in Russian, but still gonna give me more experience and more knowledge, because I still speak Russian on the streets with my football team, and I read books and we listen to music in Russian, so it's not that important to learn Russian as a new language. And also, when I was in 7th grade, I guess, we decided that I'm gonna take the extra lessons German, because there was a possibility to go to Austria to yeah, just follow the college courses or like college studying. But the coronavirus came, COVID-19 came, and all my plans actually were lost. They are gone in just 2-3 months. So, and it wasn't that successful for me in German, so I stopped my lessons after like 5-6 months of learning, and it was difficult in pronunciation and grammar, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do it. And then everything changed, and I had a possibility to get to Belgium, and I've told already a big story about my just first like meeting with Dutch, because I had no clue that Dutch is even exists as a language, that it's really popular in not only in Belgium or Netherlands, but also in African countries where were colonies and stuff. So yeah, but till that moment, I already knew I had a good knowledge in English, because we had to, yeah, not like had to, but my family likes to travel. They love to go somewhere in vacation, or yeah, like winter vacation, summer vacation. And actually I was the one and only possibility to communicate with other people who are not Ukrainian or Russian speaking. So my English was like opportunity to make a good deals, to ask something, to solve a problem and stuff. So I was practicing a lot, and I tried to learn also some new phrases and new words by chatting with people online, and also the video chats are really popular too. So languages are with me my whole life, I guess. So Belgium, it happens like unexpected, and fortunately English is really popular here, even if it's not an official language, but still there are three official languages here in Belgium. It's French, it's Dutch, and it's German. And my part of the Belgium is falls under the Dutch one, so Flemish. We are Flemish. We live in Flanders and we speak Dutch mostly, but also it becoming actually a mix of Dutch and English. If we're gonna talk with I don't know, teenagers and yeah, students like my age, they also love to use English words, and it's also becoming popular for my teachers, for example, who are like 30, 35 years old. They also use a lot of, maybe it's because of my major at the university, media and entertainment business, because it's also sort of international thing, international direction, so we have to use the English words, but I can tell you surely that they use it also in just street talks, in communication, in dialogues on the street or anywhere else beside the university. So yeah, I can say that English is also a big part of Belgian communication. And at the beginning of the episode, I just mentioned something about multicultural, and also maybe you're thinking like, what is it about with languages? Because you came to Belgium, so whether you speak English or the language of your region, let's call it like that. But when I was with the group of, no, it was already, yeah, beginning of the school year, so September, October, and we had a nice and interesting quiz. And one of the questions was actually, do you want or do you see that as a possibility to add Arabic language to schools? So it's gonna be like a possibility to learn Arabic too, because there are so much immigrants, there are so much people from Arabic countries or just people who speak Arabic, and that's actually, it's not a joke question or like a funny one, but that's a serious question, and for many people it's also like a important point, because yeah, for me, I cannot actually agree with that. So I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be interesting, but I don't see that as a possibility at school. Maybe it's gonna be interesting to make like the national, not like national, but the official courses where you can learn Arabic, so to make it more open and free for everyone, so even sometimes you don't have to pay or I don't know for that courses, so it's gonna be like free to go, or speaking clubs or anything for people who wants to learn Arabic as their new language. I find it interesting, but I don't see that as a important subject at school. Surely not, because the knowledge of new language can give you also more ways to just share your thoughts and your emotions, because for some reason that's also an interesting situation, because before I knew and I spoke only Ukrainian or Russian, but now when I speak to someone back in Russian or in Ukrainian, I can use the new words that I learned because it just helps me more and more specific describe my thoughts and the thing that I want to tell to my partner or the person who I'm speaking with. So it gives you more and more also new possibilities, and of course the new people to know, the new people to meet. Just also imagine how cool is it and how cool that it sounds that you have a lot of international friends who you talk with on different languages. So you sit in a circle, and or it was for me, I was it was one of the matches, one of the football games, and were sitting with three, me who is Ukrainian, and my friend and my colleague on football, he's Italian, and the other one was Spanish. So basically we were sitting there, three speaking three different languages, but still we are in Belgium and speaking Dutch to each other. Yeah, it sounds strange, it sounds really mysterious, but it's so interesting to feel that. It's so awesome to know that you can communicate with anyone you want. That's why I've learned already two or maybe like three new languages, so I can communicate to different people from different countries, and that's amazing. I love that feeling. I enjoy that, and now actually my new or not, I can't tell actually that it's new, but the language that I am now struggling with is French. So je parlais un peu français, mais français est compliqué. C'est très compliqué pour moi. And it's also funny to learn new languages. It's funny to try to use different ways to learn new phrases and to meet new people. And of course, it's important to try to speak maybe for once with a native speaker or person who speaks very good the language that you are now learning. So, yeah, that should be one of your goals, one of your dreams, to learn a new language, to learn the language of your dream. And the main thing is to start. As it says, stop beginning and start finishing. Or like stop starting and start finishing. And that's not only with language, that with all the things that you do and you want to do and you have to do in your life. So, yeah, just do it, I guess. And I want to notify you that there are links below this episode to my social media, to TikTok, and also the YouTube video where you can find the video version of this podcast. It was episode number 10. We are almost there at the end of the season 2. We have 2 more episodes and we are done with that episode about Belgium. So I wish you all health, best of luck, do your thing, start with your dream today, don't wait until tomorrow, and we see each other just within 1 week. It was Nazari with you, and bye bye.